Hey there, and welcome back to the Writing Lab. If you're new here, I'm Michelle Farley, and this channel is all about making writing and grammar easy, engaging, and dare I say fun. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you already know we break things down in a way that just makes sense. And if you've missed my previous videos on nouns, verbs, adjectives, or the acts for comma, go check those out after this. But today we're diving into a sneaky little topic that trips up even native English speakers. I'm talking about prepositions. Okay, pop quiz. Do you say I'm in the train or I'm on the train? If you pause, don't worry, you're not alone. Prepositions are tiny words, but they have a huge impact on meaning. And getting them wrong, well, it can lead to some pretty awkward misunderstandings. So in this video, we're breaking down the most confusing prepositions, showing you how to use them correctly, and giving you some memory tricks to make them stick. If you're ready to get started, let's go. Now, before we get into the specifics, let's talk about why prepositions are so important. Prepositions act as connectors in our sentences. They help us understand relationships between words and phrases, indicating direction, time, place, cause, and manner. Think about this sentence. I arrived at the party in a taxi on time. 3 prepositions, at, in, and on, each serving a different role. Without them, the sentence falls apart. So to communicate clearly, we need to use our prepositions correctly. Prepositions can completely change the meaning of a sentence. For example, he looked at the painting. He observed it. He looked for the painting. He searched for it. He looked into the painting. Maybe he's examining it deeply or metaphorically. Remember, small words, big impact. That's why we need to get them right. Now that we understand why prepositions matter, let's take a closer look at some of the most commonly confused ones. These prepositions might seem interchangeable, but they actually have very specific uses. In versus on. First up, in versus on. You may have heard people say both in the bus and on the bus, but which one is correct? The rule is simple. We say on for larger vehicles, such as buses, trains, or planes, and we say in for smaller enclosed ones like cars and taxis. So, for example, I am on the train is correct. I am in a taxi is also correct. But here's a curveball. What about bicycles and motorcycles? You ride on them, not in them, because you're physically on top. Next, let's talk about by versus with. These prepositions both describe how something was done, but they're not interchangeable. You use by when talking about the method or agent that made something happen. For example, I traveled by car, or the book was written by her. Use with when describing the instrument or tool. For example, I cut the paper with scissors. Finally, one of the biggest areas of confusion, at, in, and on when talking about places. You want to use at for specific points. For example, I'm at the door. Use on for surfaces. For example, the book is on the table. Use in for enclosed spaces. For example, she is in the house. Okay, now that we've covered some common preposition pitfalls, let's talk about how to remember them. Here are some tricks that help make those prepositions stick. Think of on as on top of something. That's why we say on the table or on the bus. Use the phrase I'm in an enclosed space to remember in would be something like a car or in the house or in a bag. When in doubt, try replacing the preposition with another one. If it sounds weird, it's probably wrong. All right, so let's put what we've learned to the test. I'll show you a sentence with a missing preposition and you pick the correct one. Here we go. She blank the office. Is it at, in, or on? I'm blank a plane right now. Is it in, on, or by? He wrote the letter blank a pen. Is it with or by? Here are the correct answers. She's in the office. I'm on a plane right now. He wrote the letter with a pen. And that's a wrap. How did you all do? If this video helped, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos on grammar must-knows. All right, I'll see you the next one. Happy writing.